And, fellas, as people are watching this, we're on our way. We're in the plane back from Vegas.
Well, some of us are.
Some of us are.
Some got stranded.
Yeah, that's right. Don't know what shape we're in. Hope we're going to be okay. Hope we're here next week, but who knows. To start with, Broncos going back-to-back. You know, it's been shown it's hard to do. Well, Penrith did it 4 times, but it is a challenge. It seems like going back-to-back.
Hard to do, but Penrith did it.
Yeah, I know, 4 times. It's tough to do. Hang on a second. But as you blokes know, it is difficult. Well, that's one of the remarkable things about Penrith, being able to regenerate and keep that fire in the belly. The Broncos, there's no doubt when going back-to-back, oftentimes everything that can go wrong will go wrong. They've already had the first challenge with Payne Haas announcing he'll leave at the end of next year. I don't think it won't worry Payne any way, shape or form. He can compartmentalise better than anyone I've seen. The effect on the team, what do you think?
Yeah, well, with what happened with Penrith, they make it feel like it is possible now to obviously win back-to-back. You did it in 2018, 2019, Coop, so you're the best one to ask on this panel. I know myself, having won a grand final with Manly in 2011, that there was a period in 2012 where I felt like we were travelling well and we had the opportunity to go back-to-back, but I just didn't feel like there was the same desire and the same motivation there that was there the year before in 2011. And that's what astounds me when sides do go back-to-back, is that you've got to find either another theme or another way to be able to keep the guys at that same desire and that same level that they were at the year before.
Yeah, I agree with Foz. I think going back-to-back is not a football performance thing. Like, the Broncos are the best talented team in the competition.
Yeah.
You know, if Walsh plays to his standard, Ezra Mann, Patrick Carrigan, Payne Haas, put Hunt and Reynolds together, absolutely they should.
Yep.
But the difference between going back-to-back and what Penrith did 4 times in a row, I think it more comes down to the ability for the best players to improve and that desire to want to do it again. Because if arrogance ever comes into it, or I've achieved Everest and it ever comes into it, you're going to be a couple of % below the desire mark, and every other team is going to chase you down and get it. So, look, I think their culture is a huge part of why they maybe can go back-to-back. Their talent says they can do it.
Yep.
But there's a big question mark around me whether those best players have the desire to, absolutely do all the 1%ers again, because it is hard. Whatever Penrith did for 4 years is phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Hard to replicate again in the modern era the way the game's
City of Brisbane presents challenges. I mean, you go up there even when they were struggling for years.
You turn the radio on, you turn the news on, you are front and centre of everything.
You've got Reece on top of that as well. You have Reece Mania everywhere he goes. And we can't forget the fact that the Broncos, 2023, was that close to winning the grand final. And I reckon there's an element they just went, righto, now we're going to take the next step. Didn't play finals.
Fell out, yeah.
So
So they've got a history of not working as hard as you should when you're being the hunted top thing.
Madge will look after that.
Yes. So he will, but the Payne thing, what do you think about Payne? Like, the whole story that Wayne did this stealth mission, love it, right? But there is something that says arguably your best player has just won a comp and wants out a year later. What does that say to the rest of the group? Yeah.
It's funny, I heard Payne talk about things. There seems to be at times a determination to make it about Madge. You know what I mean? I tell you what, in Brisbane, he hasn't had much clear air. They win the competition, then all of a sudden Payne leaves and they're going, well, it's because of Madge.
And he cops it because they train too hard. They're the premiers.
We interviewed Brad Thorne in the break, in the Unbloke podcast, and Brad Thorne, he was talking about the spew buckets. And he said, he sort of laughed to himself about the spew buckets. He was talking about the Broncos when they're winning comp after comp, and you had Langer and you had Lazarus and everything. They were trained by Kelvin Giles. And he said, one of the first training sessions he went to in '94, he said, they're about to do a fitness session. And he looked over, and there was Alfie, Kevy, and a couple of the players being physically sick. And he said to Lazo, they've already trained. And he said, no, mate, they know what's coming.
Yeah, well,
even back in the day under Craig, we would have blown the GPS system up, like 40, 50 kilometres a week just to feel like you're at medium level and can compete. So, look, I think the Broncos finish top 4. I don't think they go back-to-back. But I tell you what Reece Walsh did at the back end of the year, geez, he's got the ability to dominate this competition if he's got that work and desire to go again.
And the great thing about Reece, talking to Madge about it, he just said, mate, he loves football. I mean, I think a lot of it's important to have physical assets and all those things, but the thing that actually drives it is your love for the game.
Yeah.
And he's got plenty of that.
But Turbo, right? Like when he won the Dalium, he lit the competition up. Yeah, you work with him.
Yep.
Like Turbo's one guy that can take Manly by the scruff and lead them to finals again, right? So
for sure.
He must be set up for a big year.
Yeah, he is, mate. He's flying at the moment. I don't want to jinx him, but he's had a huge pre-season. He's in tip-top shape. I think getting the captaincy's taken him to a whole new level.
Yeah. That's a good move, that.
Yeah, he looks as good as I've seen him look currently. So
Talking about looking good, young Joey Walsh. You've done a lot of work with Joey. I thought he looked really good in the trial game the other day. It's going to be interesting. He'll be right up the clacker of Jamal and Brooksy.
He had a great game. Yeah, he had a great game, didn't he? He showed plenty of poise out there against the Warriors. He's got a good kicking game. He's a good organising halfback. Rugby union kid originally, but
he looks neat. Yeah, it's funny. Like he's got a great running game. He's pretty robust. He got better at that age. Got a better running game than Ricky had. But there was just that elements of Ricky's game, just that neatness and the skills.
Yeah, he's fired some passes at training, like 20, 25 metre cutouts.
You taught him that?
No, I didn't teach him that, Keith. No way in the world. He didn't get that from me.
Hope his hamstrings are better.
Yeah, 100%, Matty. But no, I tell you what I look for in these young halves. I look for their competitive streak because, as we all know, there's plenty of young halves that come through that have got tons of ability. And they look great with the footy and their finesse, their way, into the line and ball play. But what I want to be intrigued is when they're being pushed at training, how hard are they? How dark are they prepared to go? And that's what's impressed me the most about Joey. He trains hard.
Hey, what about boys? Like one of the biggest storylines of the year is DCE to the Roosters. You blokes have played a lot of football with DCE, Origin level, and Foz, of course, at club level lot. And you blokes have also, there's similarities in the very fact that you blokes have been in systems for a long time, and then all of a sudden, right at the back end of your career, you change systems. How tough is that to do?
Well, I think in Daly's situation, knowing him the way that I know him and having the conversations that I've had with him, he feels reinvigorated. I think he personally felt like a change was probably needed at this stage of his career, and I don't know if you were in a similar boat in that same position, Cooper, but having had the conversations I've had with him, mate, there's a real spark about him at the moment. And I almost feel, Matty, that there's an element when you do go to a new club that you've got to earn your stripes again. 15 seasons at Manly, he'd become part of the furniture. He could roll in day one of pre-season. And although he's a true professional and he keeps himself in tip-top shape, if he didn't, have to do all the reps or didn't have to do all the sessions, it wouldn't have mattered, right? But he's turned up to the Roosters, and I suspect that those guys there, they don't care what's been done beforehand. They want to know what's under the bonnet now.
He's got a bit of a point to prove, and that's a dangerous driver. My move to Sydney wasn't because I needed a change. Like, I could have stayed at Melbourne. It was more family-based.
Poor money base.
And I think for Daly at the Roosters, him and Sam apparently have formed a good combination, and his influence on Sam Walker is going to determine a lot of whether the Roosters can go further than what they did last year. Like, there is not a single part of me that hopes that they fall over. I genuinely hope that the Roosters can achieve everything they deserve this year, and I hope Daly's front and centre of it. But there's a couple of technical things that I think he'll be 37 at the early start of the year. There's a couple of technical things that he needs to improve in. One, the physicality defensively. Like, you got Sam Walker and Daly Cherry-Evans, who, if Kieran was playing the opposition, Jerome Hughes, Nathan Cleary, they're going to target those two guys on either edge. So there's a spot there. So defensively, they both need to aim up. And from an attacking technical point of view, you were very good at it. Daly and Sam have this sort of tendency when they're first or second receiver to put their hips on a 45-degree angle and go overs. Now, if you've got two halves that are going overs, the sideline is your worst enemy.
Yeah, that's right.
So technically, I think one of them, both of them, need to improve, and someone needs to hold up the attack, absolutely. Otherwise, Tedesco's going to run into a cul-de-sac most times. So I hope they can do it, but there's a couple of technical things that I think Daly and Sam need to improve in. And at 37 years of age, that's hard to do.
Challenge.
It
I want to
is a
ask
big
you this,
challenge.
Foz.
Yep.
You, Coop, who has a better year, DCE or Jamal Fogarty?
I think DCE. I think he's got a lot more, sort of talent, forward pack set up, physicality through the middle. Jamal's a great manager, a great kicker, a great communicator. But one of the strengths to the Raiders last week is he had Ethan Strange, KO Weeks. He's got Tom, which is a huge foil. I think Luke Brooks needs to have a cracking year for Manly to do something. So, mate, point blank, I think DCE does.